Hi, welcome back to our channel. My name is Elayna.
I'm Olivia, and we share things that probably none of us were taught in school in order to help you live a more happy and fulfilled life.
So today we're going to share with you how we created routines that worked for us. In our previous videos, we've talked and shared some of our routines with you. And today we just wanted to share with you how we came to those routines, because what they look like today is not how they started. And we've made changes, and we both developed our routines in different ways. So that's what we're going to be sharing with you today.
I think the very first time that I started to develop a routine was when I read The Miracle Morning by Elrod, which I've talked about before. And I had never made any established routine just for my personal development before. And so this was all new to me, and I pretty much copied exactly what he suggested in the book. And I even used the provided affirmations that he gave.
But it didn't take long for me to realize that I did not like waking up early, and the affirmations that I was using weren't mine, and they just really didn't resonate with me. Instead of continuing to do what this other person does for them, I began to transform my own miracle morning into something that worked better for me. Rather than trying to get up at 5 or 6 a.m., which does not work for me, I decided I'd get up 1 hour earlier than I normally do, and that was doable. And then I also, rather than exercising in the morning like the book says, I exercise later in the day, and that works best for me. And I also created my own affirmations. Now, creating affirmations in particular takes a lot of practice and time, and lots of iterations, so you're always going to be evolving them, and we can do a video going deeper if you guys are interested in what those are all about. But just from a high level, think about what positive beliefs you want to establish and what do you want to work on. For example, when I'm around coworkers, I tend to talk poorly about other people, gossip, and I really don't want to do that. So I've developed part of my affirmation to address that. I say I only speak big of others.
I had a morning routine. It was going really well for me, and then I decided, okay, I'm ready to take it up a notch, and I watched some YouTube videos on creating a nightly routine, kind of like a more of a reflection. Again, I didn't learn from my past mistake, and I took their routine and tried to copy it, and again was just not working for me.
I modified it. I've been modifying my routines for several years now. So I didn't start out with the perfect routine, and I'm still continuing to evolve them. We can make videos all day long on exactly what routines we do, but you have to find what works for you. So I'm all about downstream effort over upstream. If you're doing something and it feels like you're forcing yourself to do it, or it just doesn't resonate with you, then change it. You don't have to do what society deems acceptable or right. There is no right apart from what feels good to you. It's your life and it's your routines. So take what you've learned from others. Take in lots of different perspectives. We're providing 2 of ours today. But if you are really interested in creating routines, learn from many different people, and then just get curious. So try it out for a few days, analyze what you like and don't like about it, and then change it. It's pretty simple, but you just have to do it and trust the process.
Lastly, I will just say, make it fun. This kind of also ties into downstream effort, but if you, again, are feeling resistance or it feels like it's work to you, you're not doing it right, because you should look forward to your routines. I look forward to waking up. I am not a morning person, and I look forward to waking up in the morning and doing my morning routine because it makes me feel good and I enjoy doing it. Have fun doing it. Celebrate your achievement. You know, even if you just wake up and meditate for a few minutes, celebrate that. And that will help to establish positive emotion and association with your new routines.
So I developed my routines differently. However, I started in the same spots. I started with the Miracle Morning. So I decided to start it the very next day. I was so inspired by the book that I was like, oh, I'm going to get up at 5 a.m. tomorrow and I'm going to do this morning routine. And obviously that did not work. That's a joke. I don't get up at 5 a.m. unless I'm catching a flight. Unlike Olivia, I decided routines in general are just not for me. I'm just not a routine person. That's not me. I just give up on all of it. And I didn't have a routine for several years after that. However, routine videos on YouTube have always been one of my favorites to watch, whether it's skincare, morning, workday routine, evening routine. Regardless of what kind of routine it was, I love those videos. And again, I would try the same thing. I would try to do it exactly the same time, the same activity at the same time. I would try to do it exactly like them. And again, that didn't work. It would work for like maybe a few days, but I didn't enjoy what I was doing. I was doing it just to say that I was doing it because I felt like routines are something that you should have. So I'm just going to force myself to do this, but it doesn't work out in the long run because you don't enjoy it. That's something in both of our journeys to routines that hopefully you can learn from, that we tried to adopt other people's routines and that doesn't work. Watched a ton of videos. I desperately wanted to find a routine that worked, but the thing is that I wanted to find a routine that was like done for me. Like I didn't want to put in any work. And I was also looking for routines that were very ambitious with what I was dealing with. My mental health was not in a good place, so trying to find super elaborate, detailed routines that have 37 steps is not a good idea. But that's what I was looking for because that's what I thought that I needed. Basically, I realized that I had to stop looking at everybody else's routines and just ask myself what I needed and what my routine should look like. So in order to do that, I started by making a list, a really simple list, 2 columns. One column had things that were healthy habits that I wanted to do consistently. So for example, drink plenty of water every day. I think I started out with like 64 ounces. Drink 64 ounces of water every day. Meditate for 10 to 15 minutes. Stretch/exercise. Those are things that at the time I felt like I needed to be doing, but I wasn't doing, and those are things that don't necessarily like make me feel excited and good, especially at that time. Now they do, but at that time I was just doing it out of necessity. In the other column, I had things that bring me actual joy, things that make me feel good and are also good for me. So this was things like taking a bubble bath, reading. For some of you, that might be something that's in the other column if you don't enjoy reading, but I do enjoy reading, so that's an example of how it can kind of change for you. Dancing, going outside, playing with the dogs. Those are things that bring me joy, that are self-care, but they're not necessarily like on everybody's good for you list. I picked one thing from each column and committed to doing that once a day. Didn't matter when in the day I did it, just by the end of the day I have done those 2 things. And I did that for a week or so. And again, this helped me like come out of a really dark place. So if you feel like you can take on more than one thing or 2 things a day at a time, if you feel like you can commit to a fully packed routine, then go for it. But at the time, like I could not do it. So when I started feeling like I could build on that routine, I started using an app called Fabulous, or the Fabulous app. And I use the free version, and it just helps you build healthy routines. It makes amazing recommendations. It sends you reminders if you want them. And it also tracks how many days in a row you've done certain things so that you can look back, you can celebrate. and celebrating became a staple in my routine, and the Fabulous app taught me that. Any day that I completed my morning routine, afternoon routine, or my night routine, I made sure that I took time to celebrate, whatever that looks like for you. For me, I might go have a miniature peppermint patty. I might watch The Office. I might dance around like a crazy person. I just celebrate in some way because I accomplished that, and that's part of a routine. So from there, using the Fabulous app, I just built my routines. Now I do several things in the morning, several things in the afternoon, several things at night. I change things up. I'm somebody that I guess it's kind of an oxymoron, because even though it's called a routine, I have to switch things up. Like, I don't take a bubble bath every day. Sometimes I might drink tea instead of a bubble bath. That's another example of, if you can't do the same things every day, that's okay. You can have like a list of things that you interchange and swap out on different days. That's what I do. That's what makes it work for me. Find what works for you. Pick things that you like, or that like spark joy within you when you see them. Like if you're watching videos or blogs for ideas, notice the things that make you feel good automatically. Notice the things that get you excited, and put that on your list of things to choose from.
If you are pretty ambitious and you're like, okay, I want to try all of these routines, I would recommend not doing that. Just pick one or two things to start with, and you can build every few days. Just add one more thing, one more thing. If you try to do it all at once, you're probably going to fail early on, and then you're going to get discouraged, and then you're not going to be as motivated to keep going. So set yourself up for success. Slowly build whatever position you're in. Thank you guys for watching our video. We hope that this gave you some insight and some motivation to try something new for yourself. Again, we can't give you an exact roadmap on how to create routines that work for you, because we're not you. So be curious, experiment, make sure to have fun, and let us know how it goes in the comments below. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. We look forward to talking to you guys next week. Bye, guys.
Bye.